it's not actually, I did attend a lot of conferences, but I'm not bashing developers. I have been a developer myself. And actually this talk came up because I really got very, very grumpy. Every time, everybody is bashing the developers. They do it all wrong, they can't see that. And I got fed up with it because I was a developer. And my heart is still a developer, and I had to do the split between developing and security. I went to security, but my heart is still for the developers. And then where your heart is, when you see it bashed, it hurts. When I'm hurt, I'm grumbling. So I was in the conferences with all people, risk officers in nice suits, and I'm the long-haired guy with a beard and a hoodie. Sitting next to me, like decent people, and they start bashing developers, and I start getting angry. Oh, okay, it's him again. So that's what it's talk about. Because if there wouldn't be no developers, we would have not a lot of stuff we wouldn't have. So actually, my ancestry, or where I come from, is completely different. I don't have an IT history when I went to IT. I didn't study. I quit school when I was 17, had other things to do, and I was a trained mechanic for injection molding. And injection molding, they have very heavy iron molds that will close by the machine. Liquid plastic will be injected, it cools, it opens. The parts will be retrieved by a PLC-programmed robot. Sometimes even there will be inlays by the robot. Robot arm removes from the mold closes, and again, plastic will be checked in. Because it's a mass production, timing is very expensive. So the faster I can produce, the cheaper the products are. So I was a mechanic, like a grease monkey, oily hands, and it was really great because we did soldering, we did electronics, we did pneumatics, hydraulics, and there were those robots. And I like when stuff happens, like things like moving by themselves, apparently, so I like the robots, and I very quickly become responsible for keep the robots running. But when you have a timing like that, there's a problem, because you want to save time, so you send the robot arm towards the mold before the mold has opened. And you're closing the mold before the robot arm has left the mold. So there is a slight problem. Timing. What if? So what if the mold is not opening? The robotic arm crashed into the mold. Robotic arm broken. Not bad. Expensive, but okay. It's really funny and impressive if the mold closing and the robot arm is still in there. And they have a different cost. But then we had a developer. He was the developer. So I was the grease monkey, and he was the developer. So every time the robotic arm would be squeezed by the mold, he comes down and like blaming the user, what have you done this time? I couldn't stand that. It should not be possible. I like logic. And it should not be possible that this happens. So what I did, I learned myself PLC programming. I downloaded the ladder diagrams, and we're decompiling it and reading it, and I found a problem, a very stupid problem. And I felt great, because hey, I found the weak spot. The remote control does not work. Okay. I found the weak spot. I was a hero. I was cool. So I went down there, up there, to the office, because we were down there in the production area. I came there with this, printed out a little diagram and said, I found your fault. You did it wrong. Look at me, ha. Was he happy? We never became really good friends. And that's somehow how security people think. I found this weakness. I broke your stuff. I am so smart. I am cooler than you. I am smarter than you because I can break your stuff. But we forget about the complexity of systems. When you write complex systems, sometimes you forget about the obvious. And you think, like, how can they not see this? How can this happen? And it becomes complexity. It's very too complex to write a good code. If it's robotics, many parts moving at the same time, if it's an application. So when you do that much complexity, sometimes you forget to look at the detail, or it's just, you don't find it until it appears. They're not trained. So bashing developers for, oh, I'm smart too because I can break the stuff. Can you build it yourself? Many times I've been in security conferences and there was another cool hacker and say, oh, I'm so cool, I break stuff. And here I wrote a nice Python script You can download it, don't look at the code because I can't code. I was like, oh no. So I can't do what you do, but I'm smarter because I can break it. That was the same thing I did, my first code review with PLC programming. I cannot program PLCs, but I could spot the error. So sometimes I see people like, oh, I misuse it. How can they not do it? And the problem actually is education. That's why I love SKF project. They're not trained well. Nobody tells them until, hey, I broke it. I own you. Huh? You're pawn. But think about the mindset of people. Think how people's minds work. This photograph I took in Iceland, where there are much less bicycles than the Netherlands. And the only bicycle I spotted was at a place where it says, no bicycles here. It's not always obvious. Your mind works differently. It's like, don't think about a red elephant. Sometimes by not saying something, you just assume it. And to train the developers, that's the thing. Just come there and I broke it, here it's broken. And not be able to say how to fix it will not help them. So here they are, the really, really cool hackers. I really got disappointed by the cool hackers because they're like, oh, I am so cool. It should be animated, but it does not work, I'm sorry. So I am so cool, look at all the weapons I have to my proposal, to my availability. I am really cool. I will get the big guns and shoot at your application. So hey, I'm a hacker. I have Kali installed. I use Metasploit. Hey, Armitage, everybody can hack now. Actually, I had one customer where a CISO of another company used Armitage against their server on Hail Mary without an assignment. How can you do that? It's really, really bad. So just having the tool set doesn't make you a real hacker. And I was a project lead over CTF project. I see a lot of people like, oh, I'm a cool hacker. I do CTFs and I'm a 3 times prize winner. Still not a very good, by default, security professional. Because in a CTF challenge, hey, every challenge has a vulnerability. Otherwise it would not be a challenge. And all you need to do is find a spot, get your token, upload it. You don't have to understand the vulnerability. You just have to exploit it. And mitigation? I don't think about it in mitigation. And most important, there's no write-up. So hey, I need the token, I got my points. So that's a lot of hackers I see. So you're the cool hacker. Like, oh, I'm cool. But is it like that? It's like, yawn. Developers don't wait for you to have the cool story. They wait for you to help them. Breaking stuff only means you had the right tool. Maybe not for, and maybe I'm grumpy, I'm getting old, I don't know what it is. So I teach at the universities and there's still, like, the generation gap gets bigger and bigger. And it's very hard to find developers doing security. And people actually in the Netherlands, the pond is empty. There are no developers doing security stuff. I said, of course not. What do developers do? Developing. And I see that developers in the Netherlands had a big problem. Because you're a junior developer for half a year, then become media developer for 2 years, and then you have to be senior developer, otherwise you are slow. And then you're senior developer, what is your career path? Being more senior developer? No, then you have to be an architect or a manager, because then you get more money. So we are killing so much knowledge because there's no career path to developers. You're a senior developer and then move on, otherwise that's your life. So appreciating developers, being good and doing that for years is something that misses. And for security tests it's even worse because, hey, I'm the cool guy with all the nice tools and I hack stuff. But experience, they lack. What a lot of young people lack, and that's normal, and it should be like that, it's understanding of communication. Like, we in the IT world, we're not the best people to talk. Be honest. We are very confident in front of our computer, somewhere in the basement, no people around us, and me in the machine. But we have to learn to talk. That's one thing. But we have to learn to talk to other people with other mindsets, with other understanding. So they come with the checklist. This is all broken. Ha. So I'm as a developer, what do I do with this? Yeah, good. It's broken. I get a report saying, oh, this is all bad. I'm missing the reports, what is good? What have you done? What didn't you do? I see many reports, and it's something in the Netherlands, functional testing is really on a high standard. We think, oh, functional testers, they're not technical. And definitely they don't do security. But they're really good at estimating how much they tested on an application. When I have a security test, there's always time boxed, because security is expensive. So we do black box tests, 1 week. For 1 week black box test, how much testing do you get? Because there's project intake, half day gone. Reporting, 1.5 days gone. So we have 3 days left. Ooh, what do we do in 3 days? Running tools, isn't it? And then what do you do? If you have time, let's find the false positives and skip them, and then you get a report. So when I receive a report, I almost never get the whole intermediate files, because I want to see what did you do, what you haven't done. So if a developer then thinks, hey, let's try it myself, I get the same tool, the same version, I run the same test, and the hacker only says, those are the things you have to fix, and don't say, hey, these are the false positives, the irrelevant findings. I get a difference in findings. So what happens to those? Haven't you seen them? Haven't you evaluated them? So in the report also should say, those findings has been reported by that tool, but they were not real issues. I missed that. And we get a top secret PDF report. Cool, what can I do with the report? I can file it in bin. Because yes, I have a link with the payload, so I can log on my application, because then the link does not work, so I have to click the link and hope the application is the same state, so this payload works, then I can see what is broken. And I get a general description what should be fixed. Does it help me as developer? Not really. I need a description. I need what has been done. Understand. A lot of the payloads don't work. Why? It's a dynamic application. So if the payload works, many times it's depending on the state of the dynamic application. So in the PDF, yeah, thanks. It's for management. Nice dashboard. So duh. Help me. Enlighten me. Talk to me. Because when you get a report, I get in line. What are we paying our developers for? To develop. But they are bashed because developers have not much friends. Who of you is a developer? Pretty proud of it. I see somebody singing hand like this. It's like, yes, I am a developer. Be proud to be a developer, because if you make people proud of what they do a better job. If it's a developer, if it's a project manager, it's a toilet lady. The moment I appreciate them, they will care about their work. That's what you need. People do care about what they do. And good developers care about their work. But they are bashed so many times. Why? Because all the different priorities. The users don't like developers. Like, oh, look at this. How could I have done this? It has to be more intuitive. It has to be more shiny, flashy application. It has to be delivered yesterday. So they're never good. And they're too expensive. You will be outsourced to far away or nearshore. Nobody's happy with developers. But still we rely on them. So that's great. Our blood and sweat and tears, it's in our products. What you get, I think? You get bashed. You're out of time. I'm out of time. Because we sell the project, yeah, you said you need 3 weeks. We sold it for 2 weeks. Please make it happen. I had a sales guy in my previous company when I was a software architect. I was a developer. They had an estimate from how many hours you think this application will take to complete. So I gave it back to them. So he comes back to me like, sorry, it has to be 250 hours less. Not very easy. He's like, okay, stripe something through, here you go. You saved 250 hours. So he was happy and walks away, but then he realized he talks to me. What did he just do? See, you have no web interface. He said, it's a web application. Oh yes, it's a web application. You cannot do that. So why? You got my judgment. That's what you asked to. Now you say to me, it's not good. Okay, I trusted it. And people are like, oh, I will talk to your manager. I say, okay, have fun. He knows me. Appreciate what they do and accept their experience. So they have the continuous delivery. They work hard. We do Devops. It's really good. So first we learn to talk to testers. Like developers and testers understood testers are people. We can talk to them. And now we have the operations even earlier. That was great because we were developing stuff being tested by testers, and then we throw it down the basement to operations. So now operations are integrated. So we have continuous delivery. I hear companies like 70 release a day. And then comes security. Stop. We first do a code review, then we do a dynamic test, then we do a hacker test, and then you get approval, and then you can release. It does not work. Early integration. And why does it not work? A, for it halts the whole chain. And B, you're a developer. You're in your code, in your head, in your code, the function that you're developing now. And then something comes by, 3 months ago, you developed this piece of code. It's not good. A, I lost my whole thread on things I was working now. I had to think 3 months ago. What did I do then? I have a very rare perceptive time. It has been, it is, it will be. I have no idea where I've been 3 weeks ago. I know where I've been yesterday, I guess. But when you're developing, to think all the complexity of the code back for 3 weeks ago, and then you have to fix something. It not only takes the time to fix, it also takes you out of the current process, and you have to get all the way back in the old process and think about how to fix it. So security should not be like the Ministry of No. That's what I hear many times. I come to companies and help them about implementing security development life cycles, early response. They're like, oh, you do security. Why? Because, you will still say no. Say, no, I'm here for you. When I do code reviews, I always claim I have to be talking to the team. And head managers are like, no, we just want a code review. You don't have to talk to the team. Say, okay, I don't do that. Why are you not doing that? Say, I don't do a code review against the team. I do it together with the team. Who knows the code best? Who knows the code better than the developer? None. It's their code. It's their child. So we fail the way we approach them. Security fails the way how to deliver the reports to them. So let's think about how we can improve it. Talk to them. I know it's very scary to talk to other people. I was not a good talker before. But I got passionate about security, I got passionate about development, and what a heart is full of, it comes out of the mouth, what they say in the Netherlands. And I love developing, and I love security, I love both. So start to talk to people. Understand each other. And don't talk always about security. Talk about things they are concerned. I did a lot of reviews, intake, stuff like that. And when you're there, the first meeting's always with the manager. What do you hear when you talk to the professionals and the manager is there? Everything the manager wants them to say. That's not that what I want to hear. Actually, I think my previous company should have paid me for being a smoker. Because the moment you go outside and light a cigarette, then you hear all the frustrations because they know you understand them. You know you have been in the same place. You have been a developer. I'm not a security guy, come to school, have cool tools, and hack yourself. No, I have been a developer. I felt the pain. So you're equal. You're out there, no manager around, lighting a cigarette, you hear all the frustrations. When they understand you feel the pain, you can be actually their crowbar to get things changed, their code improved, they have no time internally. Because you're the external expert telling the management you have to fix this. So you're actually helping the development team to improve their code. They have brains. You just have to trigger them. To trigger them in the way they understand. They have to be triggered. And that's something I really, when I got involved in OWASP in 2006, it's that long ago, I'm getting old. I really was in OWASP because OWASP was there for developers. It was not a security conference or a hacking tool. No, it was a community of developers helping each other to write secure code. And our first mission statement was really black and white. It was the finding, fighting, and preventing of unsecure code. We learned, we understood that it's not possible to make 100% secure code. So we changed the mission statement, I think, back in 2008, and saying from make the risk visible to the business so they can do the right decisions. But what I found in OWASP, I think a few years later, We have categorization of our project and guidelines. It was builder, breaker, and defender. I was a developer. I was not Bob the Builder. I'm a developer. So even all of us, coming from the development environment, I think did not really understand what developers are. You developers, are you builders? I didn't feel myself a builder. I'm a developer. It's something different. For builder, I see somebody who put bricks on each other, not thinking. Actually, they do have to think. But I'm creative. I work. So make them the heroes. And you have to help them the heroes. You always see the heroes, they have all these capabilities, the knowledge. But every hero has been born blank and he needs to gain knowledge. Make the developers your security heroes. It's all a way how to present it. Hug them. Care for them, love them. Don't do it with me, I don't like hugging. Don't be the guy who kicks the child. Don't be the bully. I said, developers' blood, sweat, and tears, the passion, it's in the, if you appreciate them, it's in the code. It's their work. I was this idiot who spent 8 hours, because I was allowed to work longer, at my office, coding, and there was stuff I didn't like. I had to fix. So I went home, I spent the whole night to improve my own code, because I want to be proud of my code. And I know, a year later, I look back at my code, I was like, oh no, what did I do a year ago? That's good. When you look back and you code like a year, a half year ago, you think, oh my God, what did I do? It's good. It means you're improving. So be the child doctor. Look at that child and see what's good, where it needs help. Not kicking it. Who has children? Who has the nicest children, the most beautiful children? I win. The coders, the application is their children. And when you come there and kick their children, you don't have to wonder why they're upset. So we work together with them, evaluate their children, and tell them where your children needs more care, more attention, to be the best and perfect, most perfect children they can have. So understand them, talk to them, understand what is their business, what is their tool set. I come to companies and ask them, what do you do about security? And they still exist and saying, nothing. And I can say, I don't believe you. What? No, we do have nothing with security. Yes, because it not always has a security label on it. Even functional testers, they do, oh, security, no, we don't do security. Because we as security guys, we did it, created this world of mystics. Security is cryptography, it's complex. It's like, ooh, black magic. Because when you get a security test, there's a development team, and then external or even in a different department, there's a security team, all dressed in black. They're doing the black magic, and out comes this report. So what is the developer's tool set? What do they use? They care about quality. And actually quality and security is not that different, because it's about what the application should not be able to do. They have their own dashboards, their metrics. Like Glenn always said, they have the code quality tools, they have the performance check tools, and that's all kind of security things. If they tweak them, they're even better. When you do Java, you have PMD, check star, find bugs. And, oh yeah, but it's not a really security tool. Yes, but it improves. It takes away the low-hanging fruit. And you integrate it in the development street. So the moment I check the code in for Glenn, it's 5 minutes later, they get a feedback like, hey, well done. Do you get a well done feedback? Because we forget it. We always send a feedback, oh, that's bad. Bam, smash them. Also give a thumbs up. Hey, you checked in code, we checked it, it's good. Thank you. Appreciate them. Make them be loved. Make them constructive, improving it bit by bit, rather than bashing them and saying this is not good. Reports. I said about PDF reports. That's a frustration of mine. Many companies, I do teach developers and say, how do you deliver the report? Say, oh, by email. Don't they tell you about the report? Sitting there with you? as we say in the Netherlands, put your pants down and telling the truth? I know, that will cost extra. If there's a security guy who does a code review, a security review, and is not willing to explain what he did, what's going on? What's the worst of this? Is he afraid to share knowledge? Security knowledge is not that special anymore. And people said to me, wait a minute, you're going to customers, you explain them about the tools and the methodologies and everything? I say, yes, I do. But then you will be obsolete at one time. I say, oh, I'm really looking forward to that. Putting back my seat, put my feet on the table, pour myself a nice whiskey, and all is solved. But I think we will have this when we have unicorns, rainbows, and fairies. Because we have so much new developers every year. And what they are trained for? How they are trained? Look at the most simple code example, Hello World. It's flawed. There are bugs in it. Brian Chess, when he worked for 44, he went to the code orders from Java 24 hours, whatever language 24 hours, and he went on the code example and said, look at this is wrong. It's not secure. You know what they say? Yes, but we have a little remark saying this code is not meant to be in production. This will not work. I teach at universities. I tell them about prepared statement, parameterized queries. And DBA say, yes, that's how we as DBA want you to talk to our database. But it's not the security. Yes, it is. And then I see the prof like the head down. And they're like, but this is how he taught us to develop. That comes because the teachers on universities, they have to cope up with the new technology. So they get whatever language in 24 hours, they have to learn it, making some classes and then teach people. They're not experienced developers. The developers should be trained by developers. New technologies, like app development. Who knew? Who is developing apps? Anybody? The younger people. Oh, sorry. I go to teams that are like 25, 26-year-old, and I have a son at that age. That's like funny. Like, I could be your father. German accent always helps to get that attention. But they're like, oh, one team, that guy is 52, and they were like, oh, that's cool. We have a 52-year-old guy in our team. He's doing cool stuff, app development. Okay? He's doing Java for 15 years. Yeah, but now he's doing mobile apps. Hey, come on, it's not all that new. It's flashy. And you need the new guys who pushing the boundaries, really going for it. But when everybody, the young guys, young girls, run down the cliff, you need the older guys saying, maybe it's not a smart idea. So a variation in age and gender, it's very, very important for a good team. For the security team and the development team. So to make a story, when I deliver a security report, there's a write-up in it. And I'm not a good book writer. I cannot write novels, otherwise I would have a different job, I guess. But tell them how I experienced the application. In my write-up, I write, this application, in short sentence, I write down what I think. What did I experience? When I click this, it's slow. There's an app starting up. Let's see in the app code. Hey, there's an upload functionality. Oh, I cannot upload a file bigger than 10 MB and only 3 lines will be read. What will happen if I do 10 files with 5 MB with 1 line in it? Make them understand your thinking process so if they can replay it, they will much more understand than it's wrong. Tell the story, tell it nicely. Tell it personally. I really have a time understanding why security people charge a lot of money for the security test, and they charge additionally for delivering the report one-to-one. It's a team effort. Security cannot be done by one. When I founded my security task force in my previous company, then one internal guy said, oh, we have a project going on. Security might be interesting. It's not really in the requirements. I always loved it. Huh? There's no security requirement. So can we have one of your team? So I said, okay. And the guy from the team called me like, Martin, You have to explain it again. So I went there and said, what's the problem? They are developing, and they expect me to do the security. Not working. It's a team effort. Even my own son, my older son, he's now a Java developer. I remember when he started coding, and I was telling him about object orientation and code quality. It's like, oh, yeah, Dad. So now he started Java development. It's like, you talked about Jenkins, you talked about Sonar Cube. Now he's interested. So that's for me the next stage. Here is a security book. And he's like, thank you. So every time I see him, it's like, how far are you with the book? And he's really like, but as he said, told me, Dad, security is what the other guys do. Security you cannot give to other people. Security is everybody's responsibility. It's holistic. Make the team go wow. If you are happy about it, about functionality, make them happy about it, it only can be doing what it should do. There has been a law case in America where an insurance company has been hacked. And of course, there's no internal development, so they asked the software contract company, hey, you delivered us the application of software, it's hacked. And they say, yeah, but there's no security requirement. And it's not working like that anymore, because they said, wait a minute, we are insurance, we have a lot of money. We sue you because that are all known vulnerabilities. And you have them in your code, so you should know. So responsibility will change. Safety will change. Understand your code. When you have a functionality described, by default, it should do something else. We also are in a technology living time. I come to companies about integrating security in the development lifecycle. What everybody thinks about? Stars and SARS. Technology to solve our problems. I had a guy from the Netherlands Bank, that's a big organ for banking in the Netherlands. So I explained about code review, static code analysis. He goes, oh, that's cool. So bad code in, good code comes out. Nope. Okay, let's start again. To make them understand, a tool helps you, but a tool doesn't do anything by himself. The tool will help you, and that's what you need. Tools have easy access, easy report, understandable report, and early feedback. But all the tools out there, they only can find technical problems, bugs. What they can't do is flaws, functional problems. A question Gary McGraw normally asks the audience. So a bug, it's a technical problem, a flaw being a functional problem. What do you think, what's more occurrent? Who thinks there are more bugs than flaws? Nobody? Who thinks there are more flaws than bugs? That's against tech people. Actually, it's 50-50. Half the vulnerabilities we could eliminate by differently looking at the functionality. To understand that, it's like the common sense. But though we are all focusing on the bugs, all the technology is focusing on the bugs, security on the bugs, but the functionality you only can find by using your brain. But you can prevent it before writing a line of code by just looking at the functionality and think, would that be that smart? If you cannot explain, understandable, what you found, what the weakness is, if you cannot explain the problem easily, simple, maybe you haven't understand it. Just having a tool set, it's not enough. You need to understand it. That's something where I always, when I was involved in that, has a co-venture with Hacking Lab, where you have 3 OWASP challenges. It's as a CTF, but it's different. Why? It's not about a gold nugget you upload. You have 3 questions. When you have 10 points, the first 3 points go from explain the vulnerability. Another 3 points you get for exploit the vulnerability. But you get 4 points for tell us a mitigation. And this is a text answer. So there are real people behind it. It's more effort, but it's a great community. So there are 100 people doing the 3 OWASP challenges. But there are also 100 people being teacher and telling people about security. That's what we need. Thank you.